Hello fans, and welcome to this week's episode of Myatt Reviews. This is our review of our top 3 favorite trilogies / what we think is the best. Enjoy our video.
Yeah, so how this is going to work is we have our top 3 list of favorite trilogies of all time. We'll do our 3 and 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. We actually have a special guest with us that's not actually here.
Four Eyes and Bow Ties.
He's going to be sharing his favorite movie trilogy of all time. He's going to have a little segment. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Really excited to have him in here.
We actually we just did our Jupiter Ascending review, so it's good to talk about some positive thinking along with this.
Yeah. So Miles, let's just get going. What is your number 3 favorite trilogy?
My number 3. Alright, so my number 3 favorite trilogy is the definition of iconic. It has to do a lot with 2015. It's the Back to the Future trilogy. This is how I look at the 3. The first one is a perfect iconic movie, and then 2 and 3, they're not perfect, but they're just as iconic and to me just as rewatchable. I just love them all 3, to the quotableness, to just everything about it. Marty McFly, I'm in. It brings me home.
It's just a fun, entertaining movie. There's not much drama in there.
Shut up.
Okay. My number 3, and I hit this at a very, very soft spot of my heart, and I'm actually having a lot of courage actually saying this, but my number 3 favorite trilogy is the Toy Story trilogy.
Amen.
These movies are not just like your regular animated movies. They are so much more. They basically, I would say, are the captain or the king when it comes to animated movies.
It's like the Godfather.
Yeah, they hit them up. They were the first really good. Or they were the first computer animated movie. They're really good movies. Good script, good everything. You can't make a Toy Story.
If you didn't cry at the end of Toy Story,
then you have no soul.
Yeah, basically. And
I didn't cry.
What?
Well, Dylan doesn't have a soul.
Get out of here, Dylan. You're not in this video.
Miles, what is your second favorite movie?
Okay, this is where I start getting even more. Alright, my number 2 spot is to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This is a trilogy I grew up just watching so much over and over again. It is the definition of epic. Like, all 3 movies are perfect, each and every one. It's just an impossible movie. Like, the books are impossible to translate to film, but they did it, they made lots of money, they were successful, and creamed it at the Academy Awards, which is crazy for a nerdy movie. Like, it's crazy, it's an achievement, and that's why it's number 2.
Before I say my number 2, let's just do some honorable mentions. One honorable mention each. And my honorable mention is actually going to be the original Star Wars trilogy. So that was really close to making it, but it didn't for me.
My honorable mention will be the Bourne trilogy. I think they're super underrated in regards to being on top 10 lists. Even top 10 lists, I don't see them a lot. They're so good. Some of the best action sequences ever made, and Matt Damon, he's a god among men.
Basically. My number 2 has to go to the Dark Knight trilogy. Superhero movies. When it comes to the 3 movies, I'm just going to break it down. Batman Begins was a really good origin. I'm not going to say that was fantastic. It was really good. It was not fantastic. Dark Knight is the king of all superhero movies. It is the godfather of all comic movies. Like, there's nothing above it. Try to name a movie. Avengers? No. Dark Knight is, Heath Ledger's performance, did lead to his death, but it was really good. And The Dark Knight Rises, a little bit disappointing. It was underrated. It was a good movie if you just got over a couple things that you had the ability to get over.
It was a great movie.
It was a really good movie if you just got over 2.
Get over it, people. Stop criticizing it. Can't live up to The Dark Knight. Four Eyes and Bow Ties. Tell me your favorite trilogy of all time.
So today I'm going to talk to you about what I consider to be the best movie trilogy of all time. Now I'd like to make it very clear, this is just my opinion, but as we all know, my opinion equals fact. So fact, the Lord of the Rings movies are the best trilogy of all time. Now I'm going to spend less time talking about the movies individually and more time talking about what makes them work so well together as a trilogy. If you look at a lot of movies nowadays, especially movies like the Iron Man movies, which although enjoyable and a lot of fun, are of very varying quality, you see that they don't work together very much as a trilogy because they aren't consistent. The Lord of the Rings movies are consistent. It's important in a trilogy not to make one great movie, make another not so great movie, and a third movie. Nowadays, that's a lot of what we see. I'd point you again towards the Iron Man movies. With the Lord of the Rings movies, it's the exact opposite. The first Lord of the Rings movie is great. The second Lord of the Rings movie is fantastic. And the third Lord of the Rings movie is out of this world awesome. So when a viewer sees the first Lord of the Rings movie, they want to see the second. When they see the second, they want to see the third. And the third is such a satisfying payoff that you feel like you've watched one story. That's my favorite thing about the Lord of the Rings. You can refer to those movies as the Lord of the Ring. Whereas with movies like the Batman trilogy, you talk about Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Now, I'm not going to tell you my individual scores for the movies, as once again, that's a review for another day. But my overall score for the trilogy, which is the scores averaged out, is a 9.6. This trilogy is truly fantastic, great cinematography, and has a little something for everyone, from romance to action to comedy to just a lot of fun. I highly suggest you watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy, as you can see, there's lots of love here, and it's not even over yet.
First.
My number one trilogy of all time is gonna go to... Boom! Star Wars prequel trilogy. Just kidding. It's the Star Wars original trilogy. It is, to me, the most iconic and influential movies to the nerdom of all time. Without Star Wars, you wouldn't have superhero movies. You would not have Lord of the Rings. You would not have Harry Potter. It's like the god of all nerd fandoms, and that's crazy. The characters are amazing. It has the Force, and one of the best story arcs of all time of this legend of Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, and green lightsabers, and iconicness, and scores, and just everything that makes and Ewoks dancing at the end.
And the Force.
Yeah, like the perfect trilogy always ends with everyone dancing with Ewoks in the end, okay? Sorry.
What was your number 2?
The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
That's what I remember. Alright, and to get to me, I was deciding between this and one other trilogy, which would be The Dark Knight, but when it really comes down to it, this movie has...
It's a fun movie.
This trilogy has, like, not only been really good, it's almost, like, defined me in a little bit of a way.
Same here.
Coming from the nerdiness of me. But my favorite trilogy of all time is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yes.
Talk about a beautiful movie. I mean, you start out with Frodo, just a hobbit that just, has no cares, and then he just goes through things and begins to be exposed to the world around him, and he sees the darkness of it, and he has to do a really hard task that not even someone who was born in that world could even do. And then he goes through all this, and then to finally, at the end of the 9-month journey, when he finally destroys the ring, to return home to that, and he comes home and he just says, well, I'm not this person anymore, I've changed.
It's like real life.
It's so cool. I think it's the closest, I think you'll agree, even closer than Star Wars is to reality.
I would agree.
I mean, Lord of the Rings is... You can't beat it. And then I put this on the record. Hobbit did not do Lord of the Rings justice, but they were not horrible movies.
They're not horrible.
The original, the new trilogy for Star Wars.
They weren't great.
That... You know.
The prequel, I'd put The Hobbit almost around the prequel trilogy.
No.
Everyone's going to kill me for it, but I
know.
Again, just a big thanks to Four Eyes and Bowties for being in this video with us.
Yeah.
This isn't our first collaboration, so we'll be doing a lot of stuff on our channel and his channel in the future. And check out his videos. They're really good. He's
Go
awesome.
check it out. Four Eyes and Bowties. Go subscribe and like his videos. It's really cool. Well, this was our opinion. This was what we believed it was. So if you would like to comment, let us know. We will respond back ASAP. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
Comment and subscribe.
And subscribe and like.
Bye-bye.
Bye.